everybody, it is Addison Ironbrooke here, and welcome either to my channel or back to my channel. Today is my first proper realistic roleplay video, so I hope you enjoy. And I'm taking my horse Spyro, which you can see in the background, and his show name is La Umbra Cinerio, to a show. So yeah, I hope you enjoy, and for more, follow me on Instagram at addy.ironbrooke. So this is going to be kind of a vlog style video, and so right now I'm just getting Spyro out of the stable. I'm first giving him a pat and putting on his head collar just before I lead him over to the wash and tacking up area. So he's really good on the lead rein, as you can see. He just walks right behind me and does not bother at all. So we're just walking over to the wash stall so I can give him a groom, tack him, well, not tack him up, put on his travelling equipment, etc., so that we're ready to leave and so that we are ready to compete when we get there. So just as a heads up, I will not be braiding Spyro's mane, as he is a Connemara and native breeds don't tend to get braided. So that is why only unnative breeds get braided. So I'm just heading over to the hose to give him a bath. I'm just hosing him off so that he's nice and wet so we can wash him. And then I'm scrubbing him with some bubbles to make sure that he is absolutely spotless and clean, as we don't want to get downgraded for our lack of dirtiness. Now I'm just giving him a final groom off to make sure there's no dirt left. Now I'm just picking out his feet and giving him a last bit of hay before we get ready to leave. So now I'm just kneeling down so that I can put on his travel boots, which are nice and fluffy for protection, as you can see right now. They're nice and fluffy and protective, and he's just having a little scratch at his leg there, as you can see. So now I'm going to head on and lead him outside to the trailer so that we can get him all loaded and head off to our destination. The show is being held at Marley's farm in the jumping ring, and I got a text message this morning from the board from Marley's farm who were judging and organising everything, saying that we will be warming up in the barrel racing section. So there we go, I just loaded him on and I'm loading him back off again. And at Steve's farm is where we will be tacking up, etc., where the dressing rooms are for riders to get changed and where the horses are being stabled while they're here. And it's actually Spyro's first time at a competition where you travel there and compete on the same day. Previously we've done competitions where we've only we've travelled there and done the trot up on the first day, then he's kind of had the rest of the day to settle in, where today we've travelled there, we're going to compete on the same day and then travel home on the same day also. So that is a new experience for him, so I hope that it goes all well. I'm sure it will do, but yeah, he's an amazing little pony and he is a project, but not that much of a project, as I bought him to fill in for Merlin and any of my other horses when they retire. So, because Merlin tore his tendon and he may never be able to compete again. Hopefully he can, but I bought Spyro anyways. And when Fleur or anybody else retires, I want to make sure that I have a horse to the same standard. So here I just went into the dressing rooms and I changed my jacket because I didn't want to wear the black one. And then I headed back to the stables, gave him a pat, and then now I'm just about to tack him up so that we can head down to Marley's and warm up, all ready for our round. Here Spyro was just having a bit of a sniff around, checking out the environment and having another little scratch on his leg. So now I am just putting on his number. So I'm wearing my white pad, as it is a competition obviously. But yeah, even though he is a grey colour, I think the white saddle pad really suits him. I'm just putting on my saddle. And now I am just changing over his boots from the travel boots to his jumping boots and exercise boots. Finally, I'm changing his bridle just before we get ready to head down to Marley's. He was such a good boy, especially in the new environment. Here I have mounted up onto him and we are travelling down to Marley's, just walking, and we have a bit of a trot too. Yeah, so we did have a bit of a trot just to stretch his legs out before we warm up. And we went from Steve's through Silverglade Village and out the other side, and then of course down to Marley's. Steve's farm is really pretty, as you can see the building in the background. It's got a Tudor style on the side and front. Although I'm not that big of a fan of the roof, but obviously it's not my stables anyway. So I've just sped this up here, and as it is a new location for us, we did go the wrong way to start with. But we got back on track and we are heading down to Marley's farm. Now Marley's is a really good little equestrian centre, even though it is small and not particularly that busy. I'm sure this show will help with that and get it a bit more busy. But Marley's mainly focuses on horse sales, but they also have the Western barrel racing and obviously the jumper course. But yeah, the jumps are bushes, so I thought it's kind of similar to also a bit of arena cross country, although it is a jumper show. But I just really want to get Spyro out and about, just to make sure that he's got a lot of experience, as when Fleur and Diamond retire, and if Merlin can't compete, I do want to go to the SSO Olympics and other big shows. So I will need a reliable horse which can take me there, and I'm hoping that after Fleur, Diamond, Merlin and Pablo and my other horses, that Spyro will be able to take me to that level, as he's already at quite a high level now with a good stamina, etc. So hopefully when he gets to that stage where I need to compete him, well, I don't need to compete, but when I am going to be competing him at the higher levels after my other horses retire, that he will be able to take me there. And that's why I purposely bought him at the level that he was, and he was a perfect age too, so he'll still be at a decent age to compete once my other horses retire. I plan on keeping my other horses when they retire anyways, and I'll still maybe do small competitions, but they won't be used for like big competitions, SSO Olympics, anything like that. But I have signed up myself and Spyro for Bury Farm Bareback Challenge. It is a jumping competition, but obviously bareback, so I do need to start practicing bareback with Spyro. But yeah, So as you can see here in the warm-up, I'm making sure to give him a good canter, an extended canter round, as well as doing some trots, some circles, changes of direction, etc. Just to make sure that he's completely warmed up and he is bending nicely and is turning well and being responsive to my leg and aids. There he just threw a bit of a book as he was getting a bit excited, which is understandable. It's a new place. Oh, and another little book there. His books are so easy to sit to and they actually make me giggle sometimes. Here we go, I'm just giving him an extended canter round on this rein and then recollecting it and extended again, and yeah. So Spyro really is a good horse. He has beautiful gaits. Although for 3-day events I will need to work a lot on his dressage, as obviously he's not a dressage horse, he's more of a jumper cross-country horse. But obviously for the 3-day events, dressage is one of the events, and to place high overall, the dressage really does count. I will be working a lot on that with him by maybe entering some novice and intermediate dressage classes, and going to some clinics. I also plan on having maybe fortnightly or monthly lessons on Spyro. So now here's the start of our round. He was going really lovely and his bends were going absolutely perfect. So here's the turn into our first jump, and he kept it a lovely extended canter. He kind of collected for a minute, so I had to kick him on a bit, so that made us stride out a bit. But either way we got over the fence clear, and then turn into the second jump and the third jump and the fourth jump, which is a combination. And then turning onto, he kind of sped up it there, so I had to collect him again, to another line. This course had a lot of lines in it. Then turn into this singular diagonal jump, which was the first jump just on the other rein, and then doing a dog leg round to the next jump, and then going round to this jump, which is kind of on a funny angle, and we are redoing that line just backwards. He jumps all these combinations lovely, as I had done a lot of combination work with him. He kind of misstrided a bit there, but either way he still managed to get over it once again. And that is a really tight turn. I'm so proud of that, as we hadn't really tried anything like that before, especially then with a combination straight after that. And then again this large turn, skipping that jump, making sure that he did not jump it before going over that jump, which I'm pretty sure was the final jump. So overall his round was pretty good. He did misjudge some of the strides, but he still is only young and learning. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of him for that. He really listened, his turns were good and his combinations were good. He did get a bit excited in parts where he sped up, but that is understandable and can be worked on, and as he matures that won't happen as much, or hopefully at all. But either way it went perfect, and now we're just heading back to Steve's, ready to untack and load back up to head back to Dundle, which is our yard. So like I said again, overall he was amazing. I don't know where we placed currently, but yeah, I can do a whole video on Spyro and then I will include that into the video. Either way I'm really proud of him, whether he comes first or last. He still did amazing, and there was a lot of competition there, even though it was only quite a low level compared to some of the other competitions. There was a lot of good upcoming horses there. So yeah, overall he was absolutely amazing. I'm so proud of him. I need to work on my jump position a little bit more, but obviously that can be worked on. he was just absolutely amazing, and I'm so lucky to have been able to buy him. But while we're walking back, as other little updates, I will be doing a full video on my new project pony Rapunzel, who isn't really that new, but yesterday I schooled her and she has matured a lot since I got her. She started to figure out her techniques and her training a lot more. Her canter when I bought her was particularly unbalanced, as she was spoiled at her old home and they only really schooled her in walk and trot. Now she's a lot more balanced on straight lines, but turning in circles is a bit like riding a motorbike. But I'm also proud of her, as well as Diamond, who I really think can go far, and I hope to compete him in the SSO Olympics 2 this year, which I'm pretty sure I am. He's an amazing jumper, and that's the event I will be competing him in, is jumping, show jumping. Then also, good news, Merlin is home. To celebrate his homecoming, I bought him brand new tack. He looks absolutely stunning in it, and also to help with his recovery, I've decided to completely go bitless with Merlin. He can only at the minute be ridden in walk and trot, but in a week or so he can do a small bit of canter, and then that can gradually be worked up to, fingers crossed, him being able to jump again. And yeah, all my horses are just doing quite well at the minute. I'm so proud of them. Now I do have a surprise coming very soon, but there will be a video on that, and I don't really want to give too much away. But as a bit of a hint, I have decided to go down the path of horse training and rehabilitation, so hopefully that doesn't give too many hints. But yeah, I'm also going to be focusing on that, and obviously being an event rider and a lot on diamonds with jumping. I did plan on using one of my stables horses, Dante, to do dressage on, but I'd much rather train one of my own horses and just do novice dressage, as it's not really my passion. But so yeah, I'm not going ahead with that. I'm working on my other horses. At the minute, Carrots, who you may or may not know, is just being Spyro's field buddy. Autumn is going absolutely amazing, as always. Fleur is also going amazing. She is a little bit pulley at times, but that is something that can be worked on. Jinx won a draft dressage competition the other day, which I'm super proud of him for. Pablo I haven't really done a lot with, as I was trying to loan him out, but I couldn't find a loaner, so I'm just going to keep him, work on his jumping, and then hopefully take him on again to some of the big jumping competitions. And of course, my little baby Merlin, he is back home from South Hoof Medical Centre, where he was staying due to his torn tendon, as there they have the best vets, and I wanted him to get the best care possible. But yeah, back to this Spyro. I'm just leading him over to the trailer, ready to load him up and travel back to Dundle. So I'm sure he's happy about that, as he can go and be popped in the field with Carrots. And if you don't know who Carrots is my 12-year-old Icelandic gelding, who is 13 3 hands high, and I rescued him from Gallop and Go Rescue, and Jerry's just the perfect horse. So as you can see, I just arrived back in Mistfall, or Dundle, and we headed on to the stables, just taking Spyro back to the wash stall or tacking up area to just give him a final brush off etc., and take off his travel boots before popping him in his stable for a few minutes while he has his feed, etc., and then later on he will be popped in the field with carrots overnight. Spyro looks really cute in his red rug. If you want to see photos of any of my horses, including Spyro, you can head over to my Instagram, which is at addy.ironbrooke. But yeah, so I'm just taking off Spyro's boots, and yeah, I know a lot of the talking hasn't been about the video, but I thought I could also use it as a chance to give some updates instead of doing a whole other video on that, as I do have videos planned. I'm also going to be posting more frequently, but it just took me a while to figure out exactly where I wanted this channel to go, and that I definitely 100% was into the realistic roleplay, which I definitely am, and yeah, I'm really proud of my storyline at the minute. I know I have a lot of horses, and one of the tips is to not have a lot of horses, but yeah. But you can just see that Spyro did pull back a bit, which is something that we do need to work on a bit, but he'll be happy soon as he is going out in the field with carrots, as I said. But there we go, I managed to get him in. But yeah, so yeah, I'm going to be working a lot more on this channel, hopefully posting at least once a week, if not more, and then eventually I will be coming up with a posting schedule, as I know I was posting every day, but I don't think the videos were to the best of my ability, and I don't want to just be posting videos for the sake of it, as it is a bit pointless and I may as well just not. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. It'd be much appreciated if you would like and subscribe. If you have any ideas, suggestions, or your opinion on the video, please comment them below, and once again head over to my Instagram at addy.ironbrooke. Feel free to DM me there if you want to talk about anything, or yeah, but you can also follow Jorvik.eventing, which is the eventing association in which I own and run, and also at Jorvik College, which is a college which I planned to attend but then decided not to, as I wanted to focus more on the rehabilitation, the training, and obviously my eventing and jumping. But yeah, so you can go over to all of them, and yeah, so I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Like I said before, it'd be much appreciated if you would like, comment and subscribe. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this video, so thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next one. So bye everybody.